So I literally just got done shooting a video and fixing these skylight flashing flanges here. Figured I'd show you real quick if you've seen that video. If you haven't, I'll link it to this. But just got those done and wanted to check out real briefly down here. And there's more we can learn, so we're going to go over it real quick. This isn't me doing it. I'm just here doing an inspection, and we can turn anything I do into learning if possible. So I see some stuff here that definitely does not look right. You should not see rubber flaps like this. So just backing up, getting a picture over the whole thing. Here's a flat section with rubber. That's fine, provided it's installed right. It's not. These two here appear to be done a little bit better. This one here, not so much. And then I noticed up here, I see some jagged cocked rows and a repair at some point above that skylight. This is where we're gonna learn. Somebody had gotten in here thinking this may have been the leak. You can clearly see right here where this was done. It has nothing to do with the leak. If you look right here, this is the leak. Rubber flap literally laying here. We had rain a couple days, actually it was yesterday morning it quit. But you can clearly see water soaking in here. I don't have to describe what you're looking at. It's wet water, moist dirt, granules, wash off. But it's rubber flaps, not rubber flashing. Furthermore, we don't see any primer. We don't see any seam tape. Here is a patch where two pieces have come together. I don't see any seam tape. Actually, I see yellow glue. That is not good. You do not use yellow glue to bond rubber to rubber. Looking here, it's just laying there. You can see into the substrate right under that crack. Right here, if I can hold my hand up and do this, right there. That seam has got a gaping gap. So somebody had been here, did all this, clearly missed the issue right there. They were standing on it, had no clue what they were doing. Unless something else happened here, I don't know, but I'm guessing that was done from somebody trying to address a leak when it's right here. So now the learning part. What we're gonna do, rubber, EPDM, if you're gonna do rubber, there's several things you need to do. Make sure you got a good solid substrate to go off of. You can use blackboard, ISO board, whatever the case. That's out of the scope of this video. We're gonna talk about flashing EPDM and what materials are needed. You're typically gonna lap from low side with your high on top, just like water would flow off a shingle or flashing. If you have a vertical seam, which is common where you run a full piece and you have to put a new roll on and go, you're going to flap it minimum of 3 inches. You're going to clean that flap. You're going to fold it back after you mark it. Let me try to show you here. It might make sense. If this piece is down, this is going to lap over. You're going to mark at least 3-inch minimum line. You're going to let it flap over that far. Once it's marked, you peel it back. And also when you're putting it down with your glue, you do not glue that edge. You want it to be clean rubber. You will clean both sides of the rubber. So the peeled back side and the top side. You're going to clean it with the appropriate cleaner, the wash for the rubber. Then once it's dry, you're going to put primer down on both sides with that folded back. Set a little bucket over it so it doesn't flop over. Prime it. Once it's dry to the touch, it should flash off. So you touch it, it might feel tacky but not liquidy on your finger. Then it's ready for your seam tape. They make it 3-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch. 3 inch is fine. You're going to put that 3-inch flashing on, that seam tape. It is basically like flashing. It's semi-cured. It's not vulcanized, so it's stretchy. And it will have a backing on one side, so it's rolled on its own. You'll roll it out on there. You want to see about a 1/4 inch sticking out of that. Once that's on, you're going to fold your flap over, nice and easy. Pull your wax paper backing off. And then you're going to roll it from the center up and out down, pressing it. It has to actually be pressed in with a silicone roller to bond the pieces. At that point, you should see, when it's all said and done, a nice clean cut edge. You should see a little piece of seam tape sticking out, and then just past that, your flashing, or your primer coming out. If you don't see primer and a piece of flashing, it's done wrong. This is hideous. Most of the water, I guess, is diverting over the top of this, but on heavy rains, because it's flat, could easily be washing in. And then right here's a big issue. You can see where it's been ponding and pooling and running around. That's not good. I don't know. They did try to stick it, but again, they stuck it with yellow glue. That's definitely not right. I would recommend anywhere there's seams like this, cleaning it, priming it, and cover taping over it, because I don't think they even lapped it far enough. It looks like right there's the flap. This is the area that really needs to be addressed. Hey, they put ice and water down. Ice and water. Ice and water is a get out of jail free card. If you use ice and water, you won't have any leaks. You'll be perfectly A-okay. You can do the shoddiest work. If you put ice and water, you're golden. That's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm being sarcastic. If things are done right, you really don't need ice and water. That's a pet peeve I've developed over the last few years. People just, oh, ice and water, it's good. And they're still doing shoddy ass work, and it's not going to stop the issue. Just use a little common sense during the install. Hopefully got some kind of benefit out of this. I really, really need to get going. I wasn't planning on being here this long. Until next time, be safe. We'll see you on the next one.